Welcome. Thanks for staying in the main hall with me. I'm Claire Kramer, your host for today. And our next panelists are on one of arguably the most popular shows of all time. They really need no introduction. Please welcome the stars of Supernatural, Mark Sheppard and Jim Beaver. Yes. Thank you, Mark. Thank you. Hi. Hi. I'm so happy I get to... Oh, there we go. I almost feel like I want to just sit in between you guys for maybe just a minute.
Want it?
No,
okay.
You sit over here, Jim. You sit over here. Hi.
Better
Hey.
and better.
Is anybody jealous of me right now?
Come on up.
So-
no, it's all right.
Well, there's room for a few more. There's always room for a few more. But I know everybody's going to have a ton of questions. Come to the mic. Let's just kick it off. I want to ask you guys. Hey, not
Sorry,
you.
go on. So I wanted to know, right? So
Mark,
this is the international sign for bullshit, right? And you know this one?
Well, hey, Mark. I learned.
Bollocks. It's the English version. Sorry, I was
right
working.
back down here. I learned an international sign yesterday too. Do you want to see it?
Yeah.
Anybody remember what that one is?
What is it?
It's three-way.
Oh.
I think that you should learn that one. Oh. If anyone was at the Lost Girl panel, they'll know that.
Just close the doors on your way out, guys.
Yeah. There's just a small audience. But here's what I want to ask you guys. Your characters didn't meet for a while. Then you guys had a major meeting. How was that to finally get to work together on the show?
It was good for him.
I hadn't been warned. I approached my first scene with Mark Sheppard completely unwarned.
Mm-hmm.
And it went downhill from there.
You should have called me.
That's terrible.
I did this
It was
thing.
fun. It was. You got to remember, the first scene we did was you and I. Jensen was directing.
Mm-hmm.
Was that the first
Was that
one?
the first one we did? Was that the first one we did?
Yeah. Yeah.
Weekend at Bobby's?
Weekend at Bobby's? Was that the first?
Or was that the first big one we did?
Was I in
First
that?
big one we did. Yeah, you were in that.
Okay.
The peach cobbler.
I remember.
You remember the peach cobbler?
I never got any.
And the wood chipper.
I remember the wood chipper.
We kissed a lot.
And the kissing.
Did we kiss in that? That
Hold
was
on.
the episode?
Let me just check.
Was that the episode?
Let's see.
This'll take a while. Come on.
It wasn't.
Talk amongst
No,
yourselves.
it wasn't that episode.
They all run together.
Yeah. It can't be that
No, that's the
episode because
first-
I've been telling everybody that's my favorite.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe I'm just projecting.
You guys actually watch this show, don't you?
Yeah. Okay, good. Well, we'll talk more about that later. Let's go ahead and open it up. Let's go to our first question over here. I'll get in my proper position, I guess. Yes.
Hi, I was wondering if, if you guys could have an intro song, what would it be?
For their
intro song?
characters or for them as
Well, for
people?
the characters, yeah, for Supernatural. Sorry.
Intro song. I got nothing.
Right now, yours would be, here comes Santa Claus, here comes Santa
Mark, intro song?
I
Are
don't
you
know.
feeling it?
I don't know. Anyone pick a song for me? Yeah, that's it. All of the above. They'd have to use Mr. Crowley, wouldn't they? They'd have to use Mr. Crowley.
Yeah.
See, there you go.
Thank you.
I got nothing.
We'll get back to you on that one. Don't worry.
What?
It's a small world.
Oh, no. This is the song that never ends. It just goes on and on, my friends. You know my favorite song my 8-year-old taught me when he was little? Black socks, they never get dirty. The more that you wear them, the blacker they get. Someday, I think I might change them. I wash them, but something keeps telling me, don't do it yet. Not yet, not yet, not yet, not yet. Black socks, they never get dirty. Right?
Yes.
Hi.
This question is mainly for Crowley. What led up to you getting the part of King of Hell?
Mark.
A lot of begging, pleading. I don't know, it was one of the weird things. I knew Kim Manners years and years and years and years ago. I worked with Kim Manners. Great Kim Manners, no longer with us. And it's funny, and his brother Kelly, and we all know him because they're all connected to the Whedonverse and,
Yes.
and X-Files and everything else. They're both old school TV guys. And I've known Kim for years and years, and he always talked about the boys and the show and talking about how wonderful it was, and you got to come and do it. You got to come and do it. It's gonna be great. You got to do it. And unfortunately, I was actually working on Dollhouse with Kelly. Well,
Yes.
Kelly Manners, Kim's brother, was the UPM on that.
Right.
And I was like, yeah, great. Send my love to Kim. And he's like, well, Kim wasn't very well, and he was dying. He was actually dying at the time. And then very, very shortly after that, it popped up on the radar as this role of Crowley, and I was like, this has got to be a gag. This has got to be. I have never touched Supernatural in the entire time. Nothing's come across my path or anything. I was like, yeah, I got to do it. And Ben Edlund wrote it as well. And Ben is somebody that we love from everything from The Tick to Buffy to Angel to everything else that he's ever done.
Right.
And he's a genius. I mean, he's an absolute genius. And I was like, okay, opening scene, I'm kissing a 70-year-old man under the crossroads. Yep. Okay. Well, trial by fire. So it was just one of those things, and you can't. When something like that comes up, you don't say no. You just go, yeah, I got to do this. This is something you got to do. I think Kim would be giggling right now, anyway. So
Yeah.
kind of cool.
Yeah. Exactly. It's also a good indication that you never know, where a role's going to take you and how long you'll be involved with a particular project, and
They were always hoping I'd be gone real quick.
Yeah. Well.
Quicker than that.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. Yes. Can we come over here?
Hi.
You're on.
Hi. I was wondering if you could play any other character on the show, what would it be? And also, if you could have another actor on the show play your character, which would it be?
All right. So body swapping, character swapping.
I think it'd be interesting to see us switch. Mm-hmm. You need a better beard.
I grow a good beard, actually. I do grow a good beard. But, yeah, that'd be fun, actually.
That would be
real fun.
That would be fun.
Thanks for the idea.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Send
Great
your
question.
cards and
Season
letters
11.
to Jeremy Carver.
Season 11, right? We'll just switch.
I'm out of work through season 10, so I could use it.
I might be dead. I don't know.
No.
What? Well, that's the trouble. You see, they kill me. Nobody believe it. It's like, nah, you're not dead. But we'll see. We'll never know.
They didn't believe it on me either.
He's fishing for this, guys. He's as bad as Osric. My God. Osric's like, can you bring me back from the dead? I was like, really? They killed you because they didn't
He
like
asked
you.
you?
Yeah. I'm like, they killed you because they didn't like you, because you was just so difficult. Liars! Liars!
Osric does realize you don't write this show, right?
No. I had him convinced that I was in charge forever.
For a brief moment.
No,
Did you have a second part?
It's season 5, episode 21, that you guys kiss, by the way.
Which is?
2 minutes to midnight.
2 minutes to midnight? Yeah. What were we doing in it? Sing a salvage? Was there sing a salvage?
Yeah.
You
'Cause
shot
it was-
me
you
with a
guys were trying
shotgun.
to find
You
Lucifer.
shot me. Hold on. You shot me with a shotgun at one point. I'm just remembering how hard that was. Lou Bollo pulled me through the air. I landed on my ass in your kitchen. I had 7 squibs in the middle of my chest that all went off at the same time. That was painful.
I think I was in my trailer.
Well, thank you
Don't
very
have a
much.
trailer now, though, do you?
Yeah.
Really? Too soon?
I got a motor home.
Yeah, well,
Let's go
I'm
over
living
here.
in it.
they finally let me back on the lot. You never know with Supernatural, though, right?
You never know.
Never know.
That's the great thing about
It's
a supernatural show.
Hi.
Hi.
So I'm a huge fan and a little overwhelmed. I love both of you guys, and I have a question.
Which
for
one do you like more?
I don't know.
Doesn't matter.
I don't think she can pick.
But I have a question for Jim, because I know in the show you... I know you became kind of a father figure to the boys, and I was wondering if maybe you kind of felt like that in real life, or maybe you felt like that just like as best friends. I just wanted to know.
What
Drunk
boys?
uncle.
Drunk uncle, that's good. No, you know, the fact is, for one thing, I'm younger than them. And
Obviously.
I had a hard life. No, I get asked a lot, like if I give them advice and stuff like. I don't give them advice. They wouldn't use it anyway, but or understand it.
So you're the cool dad.
But
They don't hear my advice. They're too up in the air somewhere.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean we're just friends who work together. It's
With benefits.
I knew it.
Motorhome stuff? Oh, okay.
maybe you get benefits. No, you know, we're colleagues. That's really all it is. I would never presume to tell them anything fatherly. I did tell them. I sent both of them emails when their first children were born and gave them the same message I was given when my first child was born. Welcome to not ever not being scared. Yeah, they're great guys, as far as I can tell.
Yeah. I just wanted to say how amazing you both are. You guys are just really sweet.
We are, aren't we?
Yeah, we're
They
pretty
are.
good,
They
yeah.
are some good guys,
Thank
aren't
you.
they?
Yeah.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you. You look great, by the way. Yes.
Okay. Hello. My question is, so even though I don't want to see the end to Supernatural, what do you imagine the final episode being?
I keep hearing the word Crowley murmuring around here. So. Was that just the voice in my head?
I think it's a camera on the back of both of us as we walk across an airport saying, I think this is the beginning of a beautiful friendship.
But my mind immediately flashed to Diamonds Are Forever. Would we be holding hands as we exited?
Not if I can help it.
Ah, well. Mr. Wint, Mr.
Thank
Cage,
you.
remember that?
Thank you. Thank you. Yes.
Hi. I just
Hi.
want to say I love your characters and I love the show. I cried like a baby when Bobby died.
Me too.
Not a tear.
So it's not a question. It's a little bit of a favor, just a little one. My little sister wasn't able to make it here today because she was really, really sick.
My car's in the garage. There's no way I can go get her at this time.
And I was wondering if I could record just a little video of you saying like, hi, it's Bobby Springer. Hi, Jordan, it's Crowley. And we missed you at ECC.
You do know what the SAG rates are for that, right?
I don't know, I was just maybe,
Filming permission from Seattle City Council.
I didn't know.
Police permit.
Where's the craft service table?
But
Where's my motorhome?
No, where's my trailer?
so would that be okay? Like to
You know
say-
what? Why don't you come find them afterwards? They'll be down at their table in the signing area, and I'm sure that.
And then we'll turn you down there.
Because because like I don't know if there would be a better
Sure.
time or anything. Like I don't want to be
There'll
like,
be time.
No, but then everybody should do it.
oh, that's
Yeah,
So-
find him downstairs afterwards.
okay.
Yes,
Okay.
thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
You look great too, by the way.
I'm so mean. Have you not noticed? I'm just like mean. I love it.
Typecasting.
Yes.
All right, let's go over here.
I was a good guy before the show.
Hey,
Hi. Outside of Supernatural, what was your favorite show doing?
Asking
For
you.
both of you guys.
Outside of Supernatural.
You got so many good shows.
You-
dude.
I mean-
you have so many good shows.
These are two legends, so this is going to be an interest. I know yours. I
I'm
think.
thinking Animal Rescue Kids. Now, how many of you saw Burley the Hot Tub Bear?
Oh my God. You've done amazing stuff. I mean, you've.
I
done-
think Deadwood.
You know.
right?
You know what stuff. You know what shows he's been on.
I know.
I mean,
he's
you know,
he's one of my favorite actors.
it's one of them.
Well, you are too.
Oh.
See, I had to leave
That's
room
better.
for you, Mark.
But you have done some extraordinary. I mean, you've done. You were talking about West Wing, and you've done all this. You've done things that I wanted to do so badly and never got to do.
You know, I've gotten to do so many great shows. Sometimes it doesn't pan. I wanted to do West Wing so badly. And then I did it, and I did it so badly. It was one of the worst days of my life shooting that episode. But yeah, outside of Supernatural, boy, it'd have to be Deadwood.
Yeah, Deadwood is
Yeah.
amazing. Mark, do you have a favorite? I
Animal
mean, you're
Rescue
you're
Kids?
equally the same. You've been involved with so many shows.
You,
Dollhouse.
what did I
and-
say about? What did I say about dissing the fandoms here? See, how can I make you all happy? You know, I mean.
Leave?
Yeah. Okay. I've been absolutely so lucky that the stuff that I've loved doing is stuff that you lot have loved me doing. So I'm kind of spoiled that way. Some of the sets have just been some of the greatest places to go to work. Firefly was legendary for the fact that everybody was just so nice to each other and everybody knows each other. But you know most of the people on the show too.
Yep.
So you know that's genuine. It's that
Yes.
way. Battlestar was a phenomenon. It was just like, it was one of the greatest places I've ever been to work in my life. But it was the antidote to the fact that we were shooting 14 and 15 minute scenes and 14
Right.
and 15 minute takes on 14 and 15 minute scenes. So people treated each other preciously and gently and carefully. And you know what? I've had very few bad experiences. There's been a couple, and I've been quite vocal about them in the last few years. But you know, we have an amazing job. We have an incredible job, and it is ridiculous to not have a good time doing what we're doing. It's ridiculous not to enjoy doing what we're doing.
Anybody who complains about acting needs to, I don't know, I think shipping them out to Afghanistan might be nice.
Are there any good theaters out there?
Just the theater of war.
Exactly. But yeah, I mean, they're great places to go to work, and you can see it in the vibe. The best thing you can do, watch the gag reels. If the gag reels are genuinely funny,
Yes.
then you know people have been having a good time.
Or the commentary. Same thing. Yeah. Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you. Vote Crowley 2014.
Yep.
All right. Hi. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. I wanted to ask. We're matching.
Did they make you carry that?
Huh?
Did they make you carry that?
I've been carrying it all day. I made it myself. And yesterday I had the one with this on it.
Oh, nice.
If you have an Abaddon one hidden in there, I'm going to kill you. You know
No,
that,
I
right?
don't have an Abaddon. I was Femme Crowley yesterday.
Okay.
I wanted to ask Jim what you think Bobby is up to in heaven right now.
What's Bobby up to?
If I tell you, they won't let me stay in heaven.
Good answer.
It involves a hot tub,
Ah,
but not a
heaven.
bear.
No bear. No bear.
I also wanted to ask Mark, are there any characters that you haven't gotten to interact with yet that you really want to interact with as Crowley?
People you'd like to have a scene with.
I'm trying to think. It'd be nice to play with Julian Richings. It'd be fun to play with Death.
Yeah.
You never got to. I ran away. He's a fabulous actor too. He's like, but he's so death. He is so death, isn't he?
To be typecast as death is really weird.
But he has that amazing. But it's an English thing. He
Yeah,
has. He has
yeah.
that sort of 70s rock star
English death.
look.
Look.
Yeah, but, he is. I mean, he's the personification of death to me.
Thank you.
That'd be cool.
Thanks.
Jim, we kind of touched on this yesterday, but I want to ask you, Mark, working on a show like Supernatural, you as a person, do you believe in the supernatural?
I think it would be really sad if the universe was only as big as my imagination. How's that?
That's a good answer.
Because that would be really small.
I said my imagination.
You left yourself wide open for that. In all fairness, yes.
Hi.
Hi.
It's really nice to meet you. I'm kind of starstruck. You guys are amazing. My question was...
Yes, we are.
I was wondering, I know in the gag reels there's always a lot of gagging and pranks going on. If there was like a favorite one that you've pulled or have been the target of?
Have you guys been the victim of any on-set pranks?
God, the flatulence.
Oh. I'm
Just,
so glad he changed his diet.
yeah.
Because the
He's so
first few
tall.
seasons were like,
Oh, just ripping them?
that wasn't really pranks. That was just,
No, he'd wait till my side to do
Happenings.
it. He'd wait till my side to rip.
yeah.
But his ass is so high off the ground, it's dangerous. It's like really dangerous.
Yeah,
It's loaded. It's like a gun.
Yeah. You know, we get asked a lot about pranks. I don't know if there's that many pranks. We just,
They just pied Misha every day.
but that's Misha.
Yeah, that's true. The foot and the balls thing, that was like the scariest thing I've ever seen in the scene. Remember the scene we were in your house? He's just like literally just crunching his nuts with their feet. Jared is mean.
I missed that.
Yeah,
I
you missed that? Misha,
I mean-
on Misha's side. So he's just like trying to keep
Yeah.
a straight face.
Well, that's it. That's when you're really in danger, is when the camera is only on you. And you can't see what they're doing.
Yeah.
Which is why I've had 2 or 3 hospital bed scenes. And every time I come out of it almost with broken toes, because Jared's always at the end of the bed twisting my toes while I'm trying to be serious.
It's mean. He
He's very
picks me
mean.
up and shakes me. I'm not the littlest guy in the world. I mean, seriously, it was like, hey, Shep. It's kind of scary. He's ridiculously strong too. They have a tractor tire. Remember the big tractor tire at the
Yeah.
back? But
Yeah.
he flips it like 20 times in a minute or something
He
crazy.
thinks it's a donut.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
They're scary.
That is scary.
And yeah, and Jensen's the little one.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yes, great question. Thank you. Yes.
Hi, actually, Claire, I love you and Buffy as Glory.
Thank you.
Thank you. So my question actually is all for all 3 of you. Since the development of basically Twitter and Tumblr and Facebook, how has your relationship with your fans evolved?
How has your relationship with your fans evolved?
Nosy bastards.
I made a very deliberate choice early on that I was going to be the guy who didn't hide behind a fence, and that I was going to engage as much as I could, and it was the worst decision I have ever. No, I because of social media, I have met some of the best people in the world, and I have had so much fun. And I'm sure I've outraged a few people, but and a few of them have outraged me. But I love to have the kinds of conversations I have online, and meet people, and sometimes actually really get to know people, and so it's fun.
You know what I love about what you do is that you refuse to be restricted to 140 characters. Very early on, he found the way around having to tweet in 140 characters.
Yeah, there's the little continuation.
He does, well,
yeah.
before they even had the simplest of continuations, he used to use a program that would allow him to tweet what the hell he wanted to say.
It's because I can't shut up.
But it was actually stuff that was great, so I used to look
Although I'm
forward to
kind of a piker here.
Yeah. But it's fun. I love it.
Yes, social media interaction.
Well, I had some stuff going on and try to keep myself private. So I had 60,000 Twitter followers that each one of which I'd accept. It was a lot of work. And then I was like, screw it, a few months ago. And it's been so much fun. And I don't know, you get the odd strange person. There is a thing about if you're on the internet, if you do something negative, you tend to get more attention for it than if you do something positive, which is a really bad thing. It's the only bad thing about any of this is if you say something shitty about people, you'll get more attention than if you say something nice about people. And I don't think fans in general work that way, but there are trolls that do that, and there are people that have done that for a long time. And apart from those very specific people who tend to get beaten up by other people or, like ravaged by other followers, the experience has been fantastic. I think the stuff that's written is kind and genuine. People tend to help each other, which is fantastic. Yeah. It's a great way to get a message out, isn't it? Yeah. My God, like lost kids. I mean, you think about it. 10 years ago, the ability to say that somebody is lost or something is lost.
Yeah, here's the license plate. Yeah, here's this, here's that.
And it's been, if you've got a cause of some kind. For example, Kevin Parks, our first AD, one of our first ADs on Supernatural. Every year he does a bike ride for cancer, to raise money for cancer research. And a couple of years ago he said, would you say something to your fans about this, because we're trying to raise money. And I put something on Twitter about it with a link and raised like $5,000 in 3 minutes from fans. Now, you couldn't do that 20 years ago. It would cost you $5,000 to get the message out.
Right.
And so the fans have been amazing, and 99.999% have all been really lovely people I'm sure to both of us. And that one guy, I'm going to get him.
Yeah.
I know who you are.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yes.
Hi, I have a question for Mark. So, what kind of challenges did you have?
That's one of them.
Trying to tweak your character to play the King of Hell.
Tweak my character.
Like, tweak your acting style.
I have an acting style.
Have you? Must have come in after I left.
Oh! The humanity.
Now, come on, boys.
The easiest answer I can give you is act as if. It's, God, how much fun it is to be. I always believe there's two types of characters that are worth playing. I've said this before, but it's a fun thing. And I think there's two types of characters that I enjoy playing, and that's kind of it. First one is the guy that sells them out before they've left the planet, which is Dr. Zachary Smith in Lost in Space, or William H. Macy in Fargo. I mean, he's screwed before you start. And you just love watching this dilemma of somebody trying to be decent with what it is that they've already done that's fatally flawed them in the first place. It's a lovely dynamic. That's one. And the other one is the last sane man in the universe. And that, to me, which is Eddie Albert in Green Acres. If you've never seen it, watch it. You'll get exactly what I'm talking about. But that's Crowley, and Crowley is the last sane man in the universe. The idea of Crowley is that anything is possible, is that if everybody would just listen to what he said and do what he told them to do, life could be so much simpler and go by so much faster.
But he wants to take over the world.
And your problem with that is what? It's for your own good.
You want to turn us into demons.
And your problem is what?
We like being humans.
Why?
That's what you think.
Yeah.
But honestly, what's best for you is just, yes, okay, go sit down.
But
thank you.
You know what? She actually brought up a really interesting point, is that when you play an antagonistical character, you don't approach them from a negative point of view on yourself. So can you kind of explain a little bit about...
I've never played a villain. I've never played a bad guy.
Exactly.
I never will. I hate the idea. The concept never makes sense. Because as soon as you start putting your own moral clauses into things. It just doesn't sort of work. You can't spin the right and wrong of something. The greatest characters, be they the winners or the losers or the perceived good guys or bad guys. Things like the original Cape Fear. I was talking about this the other. The original Cape Fear, saying Gregory Peck, biggest film star in the world, everybody's supposed to be rooting for him. Why am I rooting for Robert Mitchum? Because it's a fully realized character. It's moral ambiguity is kind of irrelevant in that way, right?
Yeah.
But they're not judging their characters. They're playing
Well, that's
them.
the worst bad guy thinks he's doing good.
It's for your own good.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, let's go over here.
First, I just want to say thanks for coming, guys. And my question is, what's your guys' favorite scene together? Whether or not it was just you two, or there were other cast members.
I can tell you what it wasn't.
Season 5 episode.
We have kissed.
Yes.
He has the softest lips. It's quite shocking. Quite shocking.
You still have the picture, right?
I wish the evaluation hadn't come from him. Volunteers?
I think you've got plenty here.
You kiss better than Al Harvey Gold, let's put it that way.
Well, yeah.
Our favorite, I think we had, didn't we have fun in the basement?
The basement scene was great. That was great. That was the one that Bob said that.
I went, it went great. He goes, yes, once we cut all the fucking air out of it.
Because you leave actors to their own devices, and we tend to make meals out of syllables.
Yes, it was like molasses in winter.
Yeah.
Jensen was directing, which made it even more fun. But was it Bob? No, it was Bob. Was it Bob doing the first one we did? We did
I
a
don't
huge
pay much
speech.
attention to that.
Huge speech. Anyway, but we had like 5 or 6 pages of our stuff, and we were very pleased with ourselves.
Ah, nice.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. Yes.
Hello. So in the latest blooper reel, we saw how Castiel really exits a scene.
Who?
Where Castiel.
Who?
The angel.
Who's that?
Oh, I have no idea.
Is that Steve guy?
Well, where Misha lays down on the floor to get out of the shot. I was wondering if you guys have ever done an awkward exit, since both of you have supernatural exits in scenes as well.
You ever fallen over? Oh, the wheelchair was always fun for you.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the wheelchair season.
They really didn't like you, did they?
Well, it was...
I remember you couldn't go. You trying to turn in a circle.
Yeah, they'd say, "Can you please hit your mark?" I can't even see my mark.
Like, I'm in a wheelchair.
And of course, there's cables lying around all over the place, and nobody moves them for a guy in a wheelchair. So,
Did you find a newfound affection for people in wheelchairs?
Well, I newfound respect. Not that I didn't have respect before, but the fact of the matter is I could get up at the end of the day and go home. And I'm very well aware that so many people can't, and I took that very seriously while I was doing those scenes. It didn't make it easier to do those scenes. It just made me respect people who are more permanently situated that way. But awkward exits. And besides this one,
Or perhaps anything that is a special effect that's gonna take After Effects, funny way that you have to film it.
What show is this?
Yeah, it could be any show, but I think she was referring to Supernatural.
Well, I'm not 100% sure I know what you're talking about.
Funniest thing I've ever seen you do on an entrance or an exit was going in through the window. Balls.
Oh, yeah.
Because that was on stage.
Yeah, it was a fake window.
It's like,
yeah.
All right, Mark, tell us about.
It was just my then 6-year-olds running around going, balls. Balls. It's his favorite possible expletive. So.
Let's make the question a little more general. I think it'll help. What is it like to film a scene with special effects that are put in later?
It's kind of tedious.
It can be very tedious, but it's It's fiddly. It's fiddly, a lot of stuff. I like the stuff with gunfire and explosions and fire and things that get hit and stuff. I like that stuff. Blood's fun. Blood.
It's the stuff where they've got to put something in later because the actual thing doesn't exist. That gets kind of tiring because there's so much more specific camera work that has to be done, and they have to set things up, and you have to shoot it with you in the scene. You have to shoot it with you out of the scene. You have to, and you've got to be looking in the right place, even though there's nothing to look at. And but it's kind of like working with you. It's
My favorite scene was just me, which was me cutting my own head off. Oh, the beginning of an episode. It was a fabulous thing to do. Bob did that. And it was body double, green screen, split screen.
Yeah.
So we did every version that you could possibly do.
I had to do
I'm
that.
torturing me, going around me, and you reveal me, and then I get pissed off and cut my own head off with a iridium machete.
I did the same thing in an episode.
It's pretty cool. It's amazing how they do it.
Yeah, a Leviathan took over me, and I had to. I talked to him, and then I cut his head off.
I
and
don't
it
watch
was
your
me.
scenes. I don't watch your scenes.
I don't watch yours.
Thank you very much. I hope that answered a little bit of your question. Yeah, thanks. Yes.
First off,
Hey.
as someone whose stepdad was a bigger influence in my life than my own father, the idea that family was thicker than blood was kind of a really important thing to me. I just wanted to thank you, Jim, for being such a cool paternal influence on television.
Well, thank you.
Hell yeah.
Thank you.
And then,
I have a son in the show too.
and now,
Oh yeah, I don't care
there's
about
a
him.
paternal influence.
Oh, yeah.
Kill the little bastard.
and Mark, if you had to pitch us or give us a short campaign speech as to why we should vote for you over Abaddon for
I
Ruler
did
of
it.
Hell.
I did it already. You really should watch the show.
Yeah, another one.
Really? Another one. My God, am I your dancing puppet?
This,
The angriest ginger in the world, or me?
There you go. There you go. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, over here.
Okay, so I was going to ask about the kiss scene, but since that's already been discussed a fair amount.
That's what you were doing when I was kissing you.
Yeah, since we've established fluffy lips over here.
Yeah, I was going to ask.
Soft
lips.
Once we finally get rid of Mark on the show, how do you want to go once you finally die and we get rid of you?
Mark,
Who, me?
Yeah, you.
Uh-oh.
So, you've already chose the method of your death, apparently. Good gravy, son.
Tomorrow's T-shirt. Yeah, you.
Yeah.
I love it.
I don't think Mark's ready to wrap his head around when he has to go.
Balls.
Balls.
He's got balls.
No, that's the trouble. I don't think you can kill Crowley. He's been killed. I mean, they may just have me retire to my little
We
RV
can
and my
try.
slippers. Tried, yes. I don't know. I have no idea. I have no idea. I got to admit though, season 9 is so much better than any of the seasons he was in. No.
You guys still on?
Yeah.
No.
With more numbers.
Did you have an idea for how he should go when the time is right?
I was just hoping it would be spectacular.
Ooh, nice recovery. I like
Yes.
that.
Thank you. Thank you.
Explosions, hopefully.
Yes, explosions. Spectacular explosions.
That would be interesting.
That would be.
Implosion would probably be Crowley.
Both would be equally, yeah. You could
Yeah,
implode and then, yeah, you could implode and then explode.
You're getting excited. I like it.
Yeah, Jim's like, yeah, more of that. Yes.
My question is for Mr. Beaver.
Oh, I thought my dad came in.
I'm from the Deep South, Old Habits Die Hard. You had spoken earlier about the power of social media, and as much as I love both of your work as actors, I also, as a special educator, really admire the way that you use your platform to advocate for people with autism. And I was wondering what your thoughts were about the intersection of celebrity and advocacy.
You know, I'm also fairly political on social media, as maybe some of you have noticed. And especially on political issues, I occasionally get feedback from people telling me that, you know, I'm just an actor and I should keep my mouth shut. And the way I look at it is that as an actor and a citizen, I have no more right to speak out and no less responsibility to. So I try and balance those. I think that my responsibility to do what I see is right gets a leg up because I have an audience. But then the great thing about an audience is that if they don't like your message, they can turn you off. But I'm disinclined to turn myself off. So I try to engage people. I try not to argue or fight or be dismissive of other positions. But I feel a responsibility to be both a good citizen and someone who talks about what that is supposed to be. So,
Thank you for your answer, and thank you for your work.
thank you.
Yes.
Appreciate it.
Okay, yes, let's go over here.
Hi, my question is for Mark, and I was wondering, in a lot of the episodes in the newer season, you and the Winchesters have to work together, kind of on the same team, and they don't seem to enjoy it that much, and they're secretly plotting things against you, but you seem to...
You should watch the show.
Why?
You seem to make a lot of jokes about how you're friends with them, and I was wondering if Crowley actually does feel some fondness towards them. Like, they obviously still have a lot of issues with him, but if he like kind of thinks of them as somewhat of friends or something.
But like a favorite wart. I think you're going to find out what that's all about as we go on. I think that the stuff with Crowley was always better when he was the benevolent Crowley, although they were very aware of how dangerous he was and that he was the most self-serving of the characters, I think, at the time. He was less, it was always going to be whatever Crowley wanted, Crowley got. But I mean, God's sakes, I gave you your legs back.
There's that.
Yeah, but you got your soul back too.
Can you get the rest of me back?
God, you and Osric, jeez. But I think that's what this season, a lot of this season is about. I think a lot of this season is about the fact that when they tried to make me human, when the byproduct of what they were trying to do was making me human, and that they stopped, how much of that stays, how much of that is in. And I think you're seeing that unfold as this season moves forward. And it's kind of a liability for Crowley to have any human emotion and human feelings. And it's been a lot of fun to play. But I'm not going to tell you the answer to that, because I think the answer to that is what the season's about.
Okay. Thank you.
Great question, though. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. Unfortunately, we're wrapping it up. We have time for one more question, so.
Better be for me.
Well, I'm a huge fan of the show, and I'm just absolutely obsessed with it, and I love your characters, especially Crowley. I really love Crowley. Well, I love you too, but I really love Crowley. So my question is, everyone here, obviously people die left and right in Supernatural. They usually don't even stick around for several seasons, even Sam and Dean. Like, the longest people to survive, I believe, are the Ghost Facers. And so how is it to be one of those characters that's reoccurring that gets to stay around for like 6 or 7 seasons?
Off you go, Jim.
6 or 7 season. Well, it's great because I seem to have a long history of getting killed on lots of shows. And this is the only one I get to come back on. And I think I've been dead 3 times, something like that. And you know, that's the great thing about Supernatural. Hope springs eternal. You can always, there's always a possibility dangling out there somewhere in the distance that you might come back. And it ain't a bad place to work most of the time. So
it's true.
Yeah, it's great. It's different because, frankly, when you get killed on another show and it's a show you like being on, it's really depressing. Right. Because you're gone. You know, you even come back and have lunch with the crew and you feel like, oh, I'm that guy who keeps coming back to the high school reunions when he's 28, you know. So, yeah, it's good to be on a show where death doesn't mean so much.
Yes, and Mark playing the same character for
I'm not
season
dead
after
yet.
season. No, I'm not saying you are. I'm saying
6 or 7 would take me into season 11. So from your lips, right?
Exactly. Yes. Well, I can't thank you guys enough for sitting down here, joining us for this last hour on Sunday. I hope you guys have had a good time at the con this weekend.
I love you, Claire Kramer.
I love you, Mark Sheppard, and I love you, Jim Beaver. You're my new friend. And let's give it up one more time for these
Thanks, guys.